This is the United States Marine Drum and Bugle Corps. Historically, bugles have been associated with sending signals, especially in the military. Like all brass winds, their sounds carry well outdoors.
Hi, I'm Cliff Lenz. I hope you enjoyed listening to that drum and bugle corps. The instruments we're going to talk about today are made of brass, but that's not all they have in common. The most important thing that these instruments share is that they only make a sound when a player makes his or her lips vibrate while blowing air through them. Instruments that depend upon a player's buzzing lips have a long history and are played in most countries in one form or another. But for our purposes today, we're only going to consider brass wind instruments that are known to us through bands and symphony orchestras. Let's start by taking a quick look at an experiment that I did on my TV show. I was trying to find out if the player's breath alone could produce a musical sound on a trumpet. Let's talk a little more about the process of making music through a brass instrument, all right? Just happen to have a trumpet right here. We've got it in a vise so it will stay still. And let's see, we need some air pressure here. Oh, my goodness, we have a little bit, don't we? Okay, we've got an air hose, and we've got a trumpet here. Now, something's missing from the trumpet. What is it? Can you see that?
The valve.
The what?
The mouthpiece.
Mouthpiece is missing. All right. We want to show you what a special musical process takes place when someone blows into this, because you might think it's air that makes a trumpet make sound. Not necessarily. Air helps, but it's not the whole part of the process. I'll take the air hose, and I'll put it in this end of the trumpet without a mouthpiece and blow. Does that sound like music to you? Sounds like putting air in your car's tires, right? Even pushing down on the valves. Changes a little bit, but not any music coming out of it. Now, let's take the mouthpiece and put the mouthpiece on here and see if with this rubber end here on the end of this air hose and all that pressure like you might get coming out of your lungs, if we have any music still. Pushing as hard as I can, I still can't get any sound out of that. That gives you a clue that something happening right here with the lips must have something to do with it, huh? Let's have Steve Roskin back here and give us an idea. Steve, we've got a couple of mouthpieces here. Start from that and try to get our two musicians here to help you out with a mouthpiece demonstration.
Well, the first thing, just like Cliff was saying, is that the thing that makes the sound is not the air, but the buzzing of your lips. So let's try that. Take the mouthpiece, keep your lips together and firm, and blow air through them. Let them vibrate, and then see if you can get a sound out of the mouthpiece.
Good heavens, a flock of ducks are coming over here, even as we speak. Okay, now before you hyperventilate now, take it easy, take it easy.
That's the right idea.
So what's happening there?
Well, basically what you're doing is you're creating a vibration in the air column, and that travels through the mouthpiece. You blow into the cup here, and your lips vibrate, and that vibration travels through the mouthpiece and into the instrument, and that creates the sound. One thing that does make a difference in the pitch, not just the valves that you push, but also how tight your muscles are in your lips, that will make a difference in the pitch too, like this. As opposed to this. If you look, you can see my lips tighten up a little bit as I play a higher note.
Tighten up your lips, sir, and see if you can get a difference in pitch, either one of you, Dion or Nell. Give it a try.
Well,
Keep
don't be
working.
discouraged. It takes a while.
Yeah. And show us now, with the mouthpiece and the trumpet,
Okay.
let's get us a nice close-up of your mouth so we can see when you're making music what's really happening, what it looks like.
Okay.
And again, as you told us earlier, when you push down on the valves, that's changing the length of the tubing through the trumpet.
Right, there are little holes in each one of the pieces of, each one of the pistons,
Oh,
and
good.
those little holes open up different chambers and create different sounds because you're making
right.
the tubing
Great.
longer.
Well, thank you very much, Steve, for the demonstration.
Thank you.
The trumpet is the highest sounding brass instrument, and you can really get around quickly on it if you know how. One performer who really knows how is the great Wynton Marsalis. Let's hear some fast jazz. Now, let's take a look at two more instruments of the brass family. First, the French horn, which is a descendant of the hunting horn. And then, the trombone, a larger instrument with a lower sound. The lowest voice of the brass winds belongs to the tuba. Although you may be used to hearing the tuba play oompa parts in the band, a good player can get a lovely tone and perform concertos on it.
A euphonium is a small tuba that plays higher than a regular tuba. It can do amazing things when played by a good performer. When a lot of euphonium and tuba players get together, they can make beautiful music, even music by a composer who lived 400 years ago.
The brass quintet is a popular combination of different brass instruments, and the Canadian Brass is one of the best-known quintets of this kind. They seem to be able to play just about anything. Let's listen to them perform two pieces. The first features the trumpet you're most accustomed to hearing, and the second features a small trumpet that was popular about 300 years ago, during the time of Bach. But what you'll hear is a long way from Bach. Brass instruments also work well with other families of instruments. They are an essential part of the symphony orchestra. The instruments we've seen are all from one family. They all produce their sounds in the same way. And because they come in different sizes, they represent all the different voice ranges from soprano to bass. Brass instruments have been used by hunters, shepherds, and soldiers. They've been used to signal the break of day and the approach of night. They announce presidents and kings and queens, and their sounds have a special power over our emotions.